Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my Gig-Olos and Gigglettes. It's me, Gio. Y'all know who the fuck it is. Alrighty. It is 6:22 in the PM on a Sunday. I am beat. Didn't get enough sleep last night. And 2 out of the 3 tasks I did today kicked my ass. But we're gonna go into detail about the first one, which was the point of the video. Today was my first dealing with moving a jukebox, and this will be, I'm gonna tell the story, and hopefully if any of you guys are on TaskRabbit or you're doing any kind of moving jobs, now you know if someone requests a jukebox be moved, it may not be a good idea to go through with it. I mean, everything worked out. It was still it was a motherfucker. But first, one second. Everyone, please check out the link in the video for Cover. Cover is a brand new resource for gig workers of all types, whether it be Uber and Lyft drivers, DoorDash drivers, Instacart shoppers, Amazon Flex drivers, maybe even TaskRabbit. I'm not sure if TaskRabbit's on there or not. And it's a resource that has income protection in the event of collisions, hospitalizations, and even deactivations. And maybe even, in my opinion, the best part of the app, the best feature that Cover offers, on top of having access to a free mileage tracking app, and telehealth services. So if you're not feeling well, you can have a online chat with a doctor, you know, and that person can, instead of waiting to make an appointment with a doctor, you can talk to a doctor directly through an app. The best resource that Cover has, in my opinion, is the potential to maybe get your account reactivated after being deactivated from an app. And if you use my link, you get your first month free. The base plan is $7 a month. Like I said, I think that's a small amount to pay to keep your accounts, you know, to maybe salvage your account in the event of deactivation, right? All right. So my first task was scheduled this morning for, no, I'm already lying to you guys. I got booked for a 9:30 a.m. task today at like 7:15, right? I mean, I can show you guys the details if you want. Yeah, I can. This person seemed like they were trying to be as helpful as possible, right? Need help moving a jukebox up 2 flights of stairs. Dimensions are 56 by 41 by 26 at 320 pounds, which it was way heavier than that. And they have a dolly, right? So I said, okay, I'll be there. I get there exactly at 9:30. I get there at 9:30 and she's like, well, we're going to have another person meeting us here to help out. I said, okay. So first, the jukebox was in the bed of her pickup truck. I don't know how she got the whole pickup truck and the jukebox into the garage, but she did somehow. And the problem is we couldn't just back the truck up. I don't know how she got in the first place. We could not just back the truck up to like try to unload the jukebox. At this point, there was someone else helping out. So she rolled it towards us, and then we kind of like fidgeted, you know, the top of the garage door so that the jukebox can like come off the truck. And upon lowering the jukebox with this other guy, and we needed her help to help brace it a little bit, I told her, I'm like, I do not think this thing weighs 320 pounds. I told her, I'm like, I'm going to go out and say it weighs way more than that. It was probably closer to 400. It didn't feel like 320. I've moved 320 pound items before. This did not feel like 320 pounds. So I put the industrial dolly on it, which she had, and then we moved it to the back door, and then we get it into the building after I nearly broke my leg because I tripped and fell, and this dolly almost landed on my leg, which whatever happens. And then we start moving we got up 3 steps on the dolly. Yeah, 3. The first one, the second one, and the third one. And I told her, I'm like, we didn't have enough room because the dolly was roughly, yeah, like 40 inches long, right? Or the jukebox was 40 inches long. And I told her, I can't get the dolly to go up the stairs if we can't turn the jukebox to a certain angle. At which point it's just not going to do us any good. So she called her brother. We took it off of the dolly, and then we're looking at it. I'm like, okay, maybe if we turn because we tried taking the jukebox up a long way. So I'm like, okay, maybe we should take it the other way, where I put the dolly on the back of the jukebox. And then she's like, well, that would work. And we did have just enough space, but the problem is there was like hand railings on the stairs. And she's like, that's not gonna work with the hand railings. And I was like, well, we take them off. She's like, no, I don't really want to do that. They're really in there. So okay, so we're all looking at it. I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. Give it up for Ben Mala. And then, so I guess she had like experience with jukeboxes. So she said all the heavier part of jukebox was on this end. So I volunteered to do, it was her, like a skinnier guy, and then her brother, who, like, he wasn't a big guy, but he was a little bit bigger. You could tell, like, he was definitely stronger than the other two. So I said, okay, if this is the heavy end, then me and your brother will take the heavy end and you guys will go on the lighter end. Like, okay. So we try getting up the first step. She's like, it's too heavy. And I'm like, okay, let's try this then. You flip around to this end, I'll help him on that end. She's like, okay. So we got up the first staircase, breathing heavy as fuck. So fucking hard. The mom comes out of one of the, it was like a 2-story building with a basement, and the mom was on the first floor or whatever, the second floor, whatever it is. I guess that's technically the first floor. And the mom's like, well, why don't you try doing it this way? And we're all looking at her like, no. And she's like, why don't you go up this other staircase? And there's a staircase at the front of the house. I checked it out. I told her, I'm like, it's never gonna happen, because that staircase was more narrow than the one in the back. I told her that's just not going to happen. It's too narrow. We're not going to fit. It's a bad idea. All right. So we went back to how we were doing before. Me and the skinny guy on one end, the girl that hired us and her brother on the other end, and we just lifted up as hard as we could, got up another set of stairs, took like a 5-6 minute breather, and then took the last one, rolled into the apartment, and then that was it. And part of me was thinking, like, she was on the fence. She was on the fence about, like, just leaving it in the garage because it was just too fucking heavy. She was definitely like, I was almost convincing her. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen. Even with 4 people, I'm like, this. I told her we can try to get it up the stairs with 4 people. If that doesn't work, we're gonna have to roll it back in the garage. And she said that's fine. But we got it. Like I said, we probably took like 10-11 minutes of just like getting air total on the move. Because it was, dude, it's fucking. This is why I made the video. One, it was an adventure, right? We did it. It got done. She left me a nice review on it, which I'll show here. The job got done. She left a good tip, so I made a good amount. But, you know, there's not a lot of people, you know, those of you who are new to TaskRabbit, you run into unexpected things sometimes. So maybe any of you guys watching these videos, you might be like, well, now you might know what to expect, right? You might know what questions to ask. You might know, you might know what you will be dealing with when you get these tasks, right? Because now I know if in the event I don't think I'm ever doing a jukebox ever again, right? I'll, you know, if I get a request like saying, hey, we need to move a jukebox from here to here, I'll be like, I'm definitely never moving a jukebox out of an apartment or a house. That just seems like a fucking catastrophe. But now I know, I'm like, okay, I've done jukeboxes before. This is a 4-man job. It's not easy. Like now I get to keep this information that I gained today and put it in my pocket. This is, you know, it's in my pocket now. Oh yeah, and I meant to say this. Do you guys remember that one scene from The Simpsons, the X-Files crossover episode, where Scully and Mulder and Scully, was it? I'm about to piss off some fucking geeks. They're investigating the alien sighting from Homer, and then as they're in the field, Moe and 2 friends are carrying a whale. They're carrying a whale through the field. And he's just like, who would have thought a whale was so heavy? That's what I thought of after I did the task. I'm like, who the fuck knew jukeboxes were so heavy? I had no idea. But like I said, now I have the information. I have the knowledge. Now I know what to look forward to. And now I know, like, okay, if I see, like I said, I know which questions to ask, and I know if it's within my, you know, if it's within my capacity to do this task, right? So this is just a heads up to all you guys who are currently on TaskRabbit, future taskers. Maybe don't do jukebox jobs. They're not easy. All right. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for this one. I want to thank y'all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay healthy, stay classy. I'll talk to you next time.